of the 5th edition. Join our various gaming groups as we play the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And maybe just hang out and chat about gaming in general. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, welcome back to Creative Play Podcast Network.
Hello!
It is 30-day Dungeons & Dragons Challenge. It is day 10. We are a third of the way through. Yay! Oh, it's been difficult trying to get one every day. It really has.
Yes.
Especially since, they're going to be all spammed and posted all on the same day, since it'll take me a while to make sure they're all edited before today. And today's...
And we did lose internet, so it's not like you could have posted the other day.
Yes, the other day coming home and there's no internet is no fun. So today is an interesting day because, of course, today on my Star Wars game that we stream for the Imperial Complications game, which is a evil Imperial commando team, and they're the least Imperial, I think, of any Imperial group I've ever had. They had some crazy adventures, which goes along with the theme for today, which is craziest experience.
Well, see, now that is a really difficult one to choose. I mean, it's like there are usually so many. But I guess, it's funny. The one that pops into my head right this second, even though there's been so many crazy things, is when we were, we had to have been like 9, maybe 10. It was like right when we had first started out playing D&D. We're in this party, and we come across, and we're in a dungeon, and we come across this room, and in the room is this guy on a slab. Okay. And he's got a stake in his heart. So we're thinking, okay, but he's not like dust. He's not decomposing or anything like that. And it's like, so we're like, what should we do? And it's like, we're like, pull the stake out. And they're like, pull the stake out. So somebody pulls the stake out, and it starts to wake up. We're like, put it back, put it back, put it back. And then so Merkith is like, well, what do we do? He's already dead, but is he dead? He's not really dead. What's going on? So we're like, we kept taking the stake in and out. Take it out, put it back, take it out. Like, we had to have done it at least 15 times. And like, because we didn't okay, obviously there's got to be a reason. So eventually we just pulled it out, and we're like, everybody backed up, and we're like, ooh, we got our weapons out. And we're like, what are we doing? Because of course we'd never really played too much before. And it turns out he was under a curse, and then we had to help him. But it's like, the whole time, we just keep stabbing him over and over. I mean, because we're like, I don't know. So, I mean, that's probably the first crazy experience that I had in D&D. Because I was like, what's going on? Yeah, but eventually, we figured it out and we helped him. But yeah. I think that would be my first crazy experience.
That was a good one. See, I'll throw out as a GM, one of my funnest, craziest experiences is a little D&D game that we played long ago called Lost Mines of Phandelver.
Oh, I was thinking of that one too.
Yeah, that's totally my top one. I've got some other fun ones, like, group gets wiped, but then they all wake up realizing the big bad saved them for a reason. You can totally do the story rewrites where it's like, oh, you found out the bad guy's not the bad guy, but a good guy because they didn't kill you. But my craziest experience would have to be when you guys went after the dragon that I clearly made sure Venom Fang was expressed as too powerful for a mere group of mortals to even take on. And it's funny because you guys could so see the two different plans in the group, and then you had Carrie's character, who's now granted her motivation specifically was to drive off Venom Fang from her actual home. The Thunder Tree was her home where she was raised and her parents died. So she totally had a revenge fantasy kick there to go after him. But the fact that she just flat out let you guys all get bunched up, all talk to the dragon, and as Lady Coraline was negotiating with the dragon, the Salted Elf was giving him tribute. I mean, the plan was going great, and she just drew back her bow and shot. At a left field, she just drew back the bow and shot.
We're like, what? And see, I was smart though. I thought I was being stealthy. I'm like, I'm not going near the dragon.
There is a green dragon. No, I'm not going to go in. And thankfully you guys had enough contact with the local cultist who was where you got the tribute, because, you tricked the cultist into thinking you were superior senior members of the same cult. So that you had insight that he was very corrupting, and green dragons like to make cults, and so you kind of knew some psychological background, which was nice. But the fact that our ranger took that shot, didn't even break the AC, so the arrow just shattered on his belly. And he then proceeded to breath attack and take out the entire party except for you, who was hiding in a bush.
The elf.
And the Salted Elf.
Yeah, who was slightly off, basically, brought you guys,
And the two of you managed to negotiate with this dragon.
No, it was all me at first. I was the one that stayed the talon of the dragon.
You offered all of your worldly possessions.
Don't kill my friends.
The fact that our greedy little rogue offered every coin she ever earned to save their lives.
I will have you know that, well, as most people will know, in D&D, it is not easy to make 237 gold pieces. I had to steal a lot of shit. I didn't say I earned it legally.
You just earned it, period. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
So for me, I think that was one of the craziest experiences, because as soon as Carrie looked at me and she made that grumpy face, I was like, oh God, she's going to wipe the group. Is this the end of the game? As of course, I immediately mimed the dragon inhaling and then just going boof. And then the next turn the dragon just looks over right at you because your stealth was good.
Yeah, it was like an 18.
Yep, but it wasn't good enough to get past his keen dragon senses.
Nope.
As he starts talking to you like Smaug talking to the Hobbit, and that was I kind of like, yeah, let's totally have the dragon start negotiating with the group for slaves, because he really doesn't have any slaves or cultists here, and if an elf and a halfling want to become his slaves, that's the start of something, right? That's the beginning of his evil green dragon empire. It's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I mean, you can't brag as a dragon to be in charge of a town full of fucking zombies, right?
No, ash zombies. Those were nasty too.
And the fact that the cultist was too shy to approach him, it's just perfect that you guys decide to approach them on their behalf. And get the honorable, word of Worm Speaker. And the fact that he got oaths out of you guys.
Yeah, and the really terrible thing was he wanted a regular tithing of 237 gold pieces because that's what I had.
Well, obviously, if you were able to come up with it without being his thralls, as his thralls, you should be able to get that much more easier.
Oh, no, that took me forever.
I mean, I was totally waiting for you guys to manipulate that and, either send people to the dragon or send the dragon to people.
Oh, I think the elf was certainly well on his way to it because he already made himself chancellor and...
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted out of the whole situation.
You already had the robes and he was ready.
I'm like, I don't like this anymore. I just wanted to see my friends. The dragon go away.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was totally planning it someday if that dragon ever showed up in town, would totally call you guys out as his minions. What would that do to the community's belief in you?
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. He's a dragon. You gonna believe him?
And then
he's an evil dragon.
And then the dragon calls you out by name. And where are my honey biscuits? And then everybody be like,
oh, yep, it's her.
Oh no, no. And that's
the best honey biscuits.
And that's one of the best things about D&D too, is the just crazy experiences that happen. I mean, that's one nice thing with the dice, because the dice do bring crazy randomness to happen. You never know when you involve dice. And of course, a bunch of people sitting around the table having fun. That's the best part of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you totally get crazy people doing crazy things, because I'm going to throw an honorable mention of when a certain monk with her Ladle of Doom jumped out a frickin' tower to grab a flying man because she was told to do so.
Because the hobgoblin told her to.
And then the flying man succeeded on his grapple check and let her go. Hundreds of feet above the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But the crazy part is she managed to survive by rolling a natural 20 and having some fast talkingness for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew her fast talking would save her falling butt? Flapping mouth saves falling butt every time.
Well, that, and she was able to use the ladle sort of as a grappling hook.
Mm-hmm. Falling classic Acme style. Going through her backpack looking for the length of rope to tie to the ladle, to throw the ladle against the one spire, and then run down the spire, slowing down monk style because she was a badass little monk.
She was.
And managing to make all those rolls to save her ass. And then realize, I'm never jumping out an open window again.
Because the hobgoblin told me to.
Never listen to your team hobgoblin unless you have to. He was just really good at giving orders,
He was.
Yeah. And, once the group, converted him to their side, they never thought he'd do anything bad to them.
We made him a king. Who are we kidding?
Yes, that is true. First you put on the Iron Crown of Madness on him, then you put on his Gold Crown. So those are some of our craziest experiences. I was totally going to try to get at our High Seas Shenanigans game, the group, to do it, but we kind of ran out of time today.
Yeah, we did.
It was so good to, speaking of crazy experiences, actually get to play in person with people.
What?
I know, we missed Carrie at the game, but at least we got to game together as people.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, guys. My tummy just grumbled, which is saying it's probably a good time to go get to dinner. So we will wrap it up there for the 10th day craziest experience. Just crazy. Remember, if you can't be good, be crazy. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Please follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/CPPN to never miss a show or stream.